the rhinos. So I announced that I was going on a rhino hunt. I'm going to invite you to go with me. A couple of things you need to know. There's no bag limits.
Right.
And my intention is to hunt them into extinction.
Yeah!
We can start by getting this man in office. It's a pleasure to come down. Thanks for having me down. I've endorsed 40-something candidates. I was helping Bianca Garcia yesterday.
That's good.
Chris Spencer up in northeast Texas, running against Gary Van Dever. We've got so many people we've got to change out. I mean, I've been at this a while, and I have never. Somebody asked me when I come in there and said, "Well, how is it in Austin?" I said, "Well, it's still broken. It's terrible. It's worse than it's ever been." I can't believe it. I mean, it just keeps. I can't believe it can get any worse, but it is. Just about the time you think it can't get worse. And Jared's right. We should be able to just roll them.
That's right. Right.
We own the executive branch, the Senate, the House, except we don't own the House. The Democrats still run the House.
That's right.
Phelan gets 65 Democrats and 10 or more of his rhino buddies, and he gets elected, and he's beholden to the Democrats. So he's got to do what they want instead of what we want. So I've been working on this bill 5 years. How many people would agree with me that we should be able to stop China from buying any more of our farms?
Amen.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. Even the Democrats should want that. I mean, I can understand why they don't, but they do some weird stuff. So I work with Senator Colcor. She kicks a good bill out. One of the first bills they shot out of the Senate, went to the House. Never got a hearing. Never even got a hearing. And I could name 2-3 dozen of our priority bills that are just like that. Dan Patrick kicked them out. Everything we wanted, kicked them out. Never saw the light of day. So that has to stop. So that's why it's important. Lacey Hull, she was pretty good vote when she got there. I'll give her that. She wasn't that bad. You know, she'd have just stayed hooked, but she didn't.
That's right.
You know, she went to the dips and chips and let the lobbyists buy, big dinners, and she thinks the lobbyists are her friends now, and we're not.
Right.
You know, she's forgot about us out here. And she votes with the Democrats and does, well, I ain't gonna go there. Y'all know.
She started skipping important votes.
Yeah. So, I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way. I'm in my third term as your agriculture commissioner, so I've been around a while, and I know politicians. And let me tell you something about Jared. He's one of the worst politicians I think I've ever met. Now that I've got your attention, let me explain. So, a politician will do or say whatever you want to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jared won't do that. Jared's going to do what he thinks is right, no matter what it costs him. And that's a statesman.
That's right.
That's what we need. Jared's the kind of guy, and this is going to sounds odd, but he's the kind of guy I can turn my back on. Lacey, you can't turn your back on her. You got to watch her the whole time. And a bunch more just like it, right? But when I say you can turn your back on Jared, he can say, "Yeah, I'm with you." I don't have to ask him again tomorrow. I don't have to go see him next week. When the votes get there, I don't even have to check with him. He'll be there. He said he would. That's his word. He'll do it. He's not changing. And they'll lean on him. They lean on you. I mean, they lean on you. This man's strong enough. He's already fought some pretty strong battles in his lifetime.
That's right.
He is a patriot. He's one of us. He's a believer. He's rock solid. So here's the only problem. He can't do it by himself. No matter how good he is, he just can't do it by himself. He's got to have help. He's got to have your help. That's why I'm here. I'm helping, doing whatever we can. So he's got to have volunteers. Everybody in here, starting tomorrow, you need to identify 10 to 20 people, your friends, Sunday school class, relatives, neighbors, that are going to vote for him, and take them to the polls, and just hound them. Just be shameless about it. I mean,
Right.
You really have to be, because here's the problem. If we're polling in a dead heat right now, we lose by 5 to 10 points, because Lacey is recruiting Democrats to come over and vote. And those aren't showing up in the polls, right? They're not showing up in the polls. So we've got to not just think we've got 50% plus one vote. We need to get extra to offset the Democrats. And that's what they're doing all across the state. They're secretly, clandestine, reaching out to Democrats to get involved in our race. We need closed primaries really bad, really bad.
Yeah.
So help him with that. Put out some yard signs, put out bumper stickers, have a tea or coffee at your house, invite some friends over, get a bunch of postcards, sit down and write 15 or 20 or 30 of those. How many of you got a handwritten postcard lately? Oh, nobody? That's a rarity anymore, isn't it? Every time I get one or a handwritten letter, I'll read every one of them and I'll return it in a handwritten letter. So you don't know how powerful that is. It's just something that if they know, if you take time to hand write, I'm going off. I'll be back. Just hang on. So I found out. Hang on, Jerry. I'll come right back. All this woke stuff, it just burns me up.
Absolutely.
I found out that our public schools have quit teaching cursive writing.
Yes.
What's up? How are they going to learn to write their name? I mean, you got to, have a signature at least. So, in protest of that, I put out an executive order last week at my state agency that all correspondence coming out of the Department of Agriculture will now be in cursive. Change your font. So, you can sit around at night instead of watching too much Fox News or Yellowstone or whatever it is you watch. Sit there and text 20 or 30 or 40 of your friends. Cost you nothing. Just sweat equity. Everybody can do that. Just make a group text. Put it short. Don't write a novel. No one likes to read those long ones. And just say why they need to come out and ask them. And then ask them again the next day and the next day until they tell you they've gotten out and voted. Okay? Now then, postcards, phone calls, text messages, get up signs. Now we've got to raise some money. Okay? It takes a lot of money. She's got all the money she needs. I mean, Dade Phelan and the lobby and the liberal groups pouring money into that race, trying to save their vote, right? So we have to win this race. There's three key factors. We have to outwork them, which you are. You have to outsmart them, which you are, and we need to outspend them, or at least be competitive. We may not be able to outspend them, but we can be competitive. We've got to get our message up. We've got to get up on the radio. We've got to get mail in the mailboxes. We've got to get the signs up. All the things that are necessary to get the name ID and to get our message out why Jared is the best choice. So, hey, if you can write that $100,000 check, he'd appreciate it. If you can write a 50 or a 10, that'd be good. If you can write 1,000, that'd be good. You may not be able to do that, but you can buy him a tank of gas. I mean, it costs something to get around. Believe me, I'm driving all over the state. It's expensive. So, here's the deal. We've got plenty of money to win this race, but there's one problem. It's still in your pocket. Right? Right, Jared? There's plenty of money in this room to win this race. We just got to get it out of your pocket into his, okay? So do what you can. You know, if you can donate money, that's great. Everybody in here can do a little sweat equity. You know, everybody can do some text messages, put out some signs. There's plenty of work for everybody, and he needs everybody in this to pull him through. It's going to take a team effort. He can't pull the wagon by himself, okay? He's got to have somebody to help pull him, and you're the one. You're his team. He's counting on you. So pull more people into the wagon, get them hooked up, and let's win this race. Here's the motto for this race. Okay, and I want everybody to repeat after me. Losing is not an option.
Losing is not an option.
All right, thank y'all. God bless.
Thank you, Sid.
Thank you, Commissioner. Isn't this a Texas legend that we have with us tonight? Let's give him another big hand. And I think he may have a few minutes to stay around and just say bye before talking.